All right. Welcome back to Visionary Sanctum. It's been a little minute, but it is what it is. Okay. Today we switched it up a little bit. We're blue. We're sitting at the table, and we're going to play music throughout the entire episode. And today is a piece. It is a flow. It's an embodiment. And it is a story. And it's a story about the mystique. And the mystique is me. So today, I bring you episode 15, The Rise of the Mystique. Le Mystique, or mystic in English, is a noun. And the noun definition is a person who experiences or seeks direct, intimate union with divine or spiritual truth. The adjective is an atmosphere of mystery, fascination, or charm surrounding someone or something. La mystique means aura, a distinct atmosphere or quality that surrounds someone or something. And this episode is called The Rise of the Mystique because it is something that I greatly identify with as an introverted, extroverted Pisces. While not having much to say in every space, the thoughts flowing in my mind are vast and impactful. Sometimes I think to myself, it's really crazy. These people have no idea that they're in the room with greatness. And I'm in here being stingy, being silent, and withholding all the glory for myself. You see, sometimes being silent or withholding can be a double-edged sword. On one hand, it can be a prison if used to withhold from yourself and those connected to you. On the other hand, it can be a form of liberation. Everything is not meant to be shared with everyone. My body is a sacred temple, and some things are just sacred for me. Outside of my body, this includes precious thoughts and ideas, and my art, and my energy. I control the flow of exchange. Let's talk about how we got here. Before the rise, I started off as somebody who both wanted to be invisible, but during times of desired visibility, felt very, very invisible. And then during times of actual visibility, being visible for negative reasons. And here we are under Visionary Sanctum. I'm sure you guys are noticing a really cool thread about vision. I went from experiencing issues with visibility as a child and into adulthood. And even early adulthood, sad, broke, lonely, and fighting to be free. Really, really fighting to be free. And thinking that originally my freedom was tied to my education, my financial status, whether or not I was able to hold down a decent job, But my freedom is so much more than that. And freedom and liberation to me look like controlling my time. What do I get to do with my time? If there's 24 hours in a day, how do I spend it? And I wanted to spend it doing what I wanted to do. Feeling like I have to get up at this time and go do this for an extensive amount of time just to come home tired. And there's this looming feeling of there's something I'm missing greatly. And I don't even have the energy to explore or really touch it because I'm so burnt out from doing these other things. And energetically, it felt constricting, like a prison, and it was suppressing the rise. But things are different now. I started off last year specifically as a regular attendee kind of in the background in the beginning, but seeking out spaces of mutual interest. And even when I would chill in the back, I would still be approached by some beautiful and amazing people that could get a feel for my energy, attracting beautiful things slowly but surely. I'm known for my consistency, and my consistency made my presence known. And that really was the start of the rise. The more things I attended, the more folks I became connected to, the smaller the city has become. And now I am the one creating space so others can expand their worlds and create connections of their own. This time feels really transformative for me and has caused a lot of suppressed memories to come up. And actually, most recently, I found some of my old journals, and I wrote about a lot of this stuff that's happening now a while ago. So I predicted my own rise. Yeah. Now that I'm in the position to create space, I feel liberated within my own body. I know that there's so much further to go, but I already feel as though my soul is in a state of arrival. I feel light. My mind is clear. I have minimal tension in my chest, like it's gone, because I would feel anxiety in my chest. I feel motivated. I have a smile on my face as a default. And financially, there's definitely further to go. But at the very least, I can now say I feel okay. And I'm feeling grounded in gratitude. Let's go down memory lane a little bit. Those journals, I felt called to write, and I would not write. I had been journaling on my laptop a little bit, and I felt called to write physically and to start drawing and painting and stuff again. So I pull out my old journals. I used to journal in sketchbooks, and the sketchbook that started it all, I opened it up and I started reading it, and those old memories just flooded right back up. And I felt like I had made some progress, but reading those has shown me I have made immense progress. I'm not even the same person. And while I was in times of deep anxiety and depression, I was still incredibly optimistic some way or somehow. I remember being very emotionally upset and in tears writing some of this stuff and going back and reading it after being afraid to reread some of those things. I didn't necessarily feel the sadness reading from it. What I was able to read was the soul, the resilience in me, and the visionary and the optimist there who could see something better even though everything in front of me felt or was dark. And shout out to that part of me for being the light through everything. I also was going through my phone. And you know how like iPhone or any phone now actually, it'll bring up old photos and show it to you as a memory of like the past or something like that. And I decided, let me look, because I have all these photos that I refused to delete. And I was like, let's just take a gander. More old suppressed memories began to come up. And what I realized about myself is that depression did not stop me from seeking the beauty out of life. I remember a very difficult time, and I'm looking at the pictures I have from that time, and I captured beauty. What I could appreciate at the time was the mundane. The mundane was the easiest thing, the most reliable thing, the most consistent thing. And that's what I captured: drinks, food, flowers, an occasional cute outfit, walking by the lake, maybe painting a fun picture or drawing something at the coffee shop. I was in a position where I didn't necessarily feel like I had a lot to look forward to. So I did what I could do by providing the best that I could in front of me. And while looking at those pictures, I was also able to reflect on the relationship that I had created with my past self. I realized as things became better for me here in Chicago, I thought it was healthy to shame and completely disconnect from my past experience and just label it all as bad. But now I understand how important it is to be connected to the past, the present, and have your eye on the future. Balance is key. Leaning too far in the past, ain't it? Leaning too far in the future, ain't it? And blocking out the two ain't good either. Being connected to all aspects has allowed me to be grounded and present. My full connection to my experience makes me feel free. No running from or toward. Even the most painful parts of my experience has contributed to the liberation that I'm experiencing today. And for that, I'm grateful. While looking at these photos, I noticed that there is a big gap of full body images of me. I'm on a mission to capture who I am now, and especially as things change so quickly, I know that my appearance is going to change as I change. It actually already has. But I know that this change will be even more drastic than the current changes. I am in love with the woman that I am now, and she deserves to be captured in all of her essence and celebrated. I specifically want images that capture a lot of emotion. I want images of me that capture the weight. I feel light in my body, but my soul has a history and it goes deep with depth and weight. You can see it through my eyes, especially in my stare and in my gaze off into the distance. Images of me captured as a founder. I want people to see that the movement that's being created, the womb that it's coming from, is something that they feel drawn to and connected to energetically. And I know images can capture something of that magnitude. And I need more than just selfies to pull that off. Something that truly captures the rise of the Mystique. And then maybe we can have a separate shoot for the Mystique has risen. Ooh, that's hard, ain't it? But now, when we talk about the rise, here we are. And the most important aspect of said rise over the past year has been the connections I have built. And I think the unique way that I enter people's lives. When I enter people's lives, I just kind of appear from nowhere. Who are you, they ask. The shit I say. Now that I'm a woman in tune with her power, I understand my impact, the impact of my presence alone. When I enter the room, it shifts. When I enter your life, your world shifts. For the better, I hope. We're in deep because I can't even shallow a relationship if I tried. And when I release that lasting angelic effect, it takes hold of you for life. You're welcome. Related to this rise, I saw something on social media, and it was a man who was talking about the beauty community and how there isn't much support there, and that algorithms aren't what they used to be, and they're comparing themselves to some of the larger creators that got in the game early on. And I realized it wasn't the first post or the first person I've seen making that kind of conversation. And something I want to encourage a lot of people to do is to shift away from the idea of being a social media creator now in 2026. Be a creator, but the game of how you build up to being something big or rise is not the same game that it was in 2016. It's just different. You're going to have to be innovative and as to what that looks like. And with the way that these algorithms are set up, it's to keep you on the app longer. And one of the ways of keeping people on the app longer with keeping their views down is getting you to post more, to constantly engage on that. Like whatever you can do, however you're going to fight to get that engagement up is more time spent on that app. They want you to fight for those views, babe. But what I would encourage folks to do is to reflect on what is their overall goal. Is your goal to be a content creator? Is your goal to inspire people? You can inspire people in all kinds of ways. You can do your content, but you can facilitate groups in person. You can do some fun local things. You can advertise in your local coffee shops and put up flyers. You can attend multiple events in the area and let people know. You can be intentional about the relationships that you build and create space around you. We're on the internet now, and it's highly surveilled. Algorithms are different. Partnerships, the game has changed. Sometimes they're a little bit more difficult to get, or they want you to do more labor for less money because the competition is so high or the market is so saturated. But where it's not saturated is your local community. As the world is moving in the direction that it is, with conflict always being a global factor, especially now, things being escalated, it's really, really important that you focus on going outside and looking around, looking to your neighbor, looking to your friends, looking to your family, and capture that essence. Get off the phones. They want us distracted. And that will affect your rise, girl. We're trying to rise together as visionaries. I know there's some other mystique types out there chilling in the background, vibing, but it's time for you to come to the forefront because you have something to offer both online and offline. Building within your community is what is sustainable. It's an old trick in the book, but it's a good trick. And as our world continues to evolve, we continue to evolve, and this is what is next. Back to basics. So, if you haven't yet, start looking around at your local situation, start plotting your next rise. Go ahead and start journaling that stuff. And the world that you envision, that you want to live in, put in those steps to build it. Don't sit around and complain about it. Don't get in other people's comment sections complaining about it. Don't sit around critiquing, this, that, and the third about how they're doing it. Be the change that you want to see in the world, and abundance will come to you in every way, shape, or form. Abundance that you can pour into yourself and feel good and feel liberated too. The liberation I feel in my body, and this is only just beginning, and the liberation that I feel in my body is what I want for all of you. And that's all I have for y'all today. So until next time, bye.